Hello and welcome to the ministry, and today we're talking about relationships, specifically friendships. When you're a child of God, it can be, depending on what type of personality you have, it can be a friend or foe scenario when you try to make friends. I've come to find in my relationships, there have been people in my life that were really good friends of mine. But during certain seasons of my life, I could not hold on to those relationships. It wasn't that I was a bad person or anything, but during certain seasons of your life, a person is meant to come into your life, and people are meant to leave your life. And you will truly know what season you're in when you begin to feel it's almost like a pulsing within your relationships, like an alert is going off that now's the time to release this person, because what once started off as a friendship that was, y'all were besties, things were good, things were great, things were wonderful, the next thing you know, it's almost like, what is this? This person turns from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde. And you're trying to figure out, what just happened here? How did this? Why? We were cool. Not only has this happened to me, it's happened through me. I had one woman that I was friends with, and we were around each other for several months at a time. And then it was like abrupt day and night. She went from being somebody I could talk to somebody I didn't even want to be around, nor she me. And I'm like, what happened? Now, one could say that during that season of my life, I was very in-depthly in tune with what I desired to do in that season, and I really wasn't giving that much attention to that relationship. She wanted to be out, she wanted to be walking around, she wanted to do all this kind of stuff, and I never stopped her from doing that. But she would always follow me when I went to get work done, and she would end up sitting there all day, and I'm sitting there like, well, it's nice to know this, but I didn't really nurture that relationship, because it was during certain seasons of your life, you have to know your priorities. In a season when you're supposed to be focusing on working, you can't allow the distraction of going out and hanging out in other places and doing other things, even with a person that you enjoy hanging out with, to deter you or distract you. You have to know which season that you're in, and you have to nurture that season, because a spirit of distraction will come in to try to distract you and make that relationship, that thing, more important than the thing that you need to put your hands on in that season. And when it's a season that things need to get done, things need to get done. You can't sit there and say, oh, I'll put that off and I'll just go hang out with this person, and you end up going and hanging out with that person and they weren't taking you to do nothing anyway. You understand what I'm saying? That's a key sign that the person is actually a distraction. When you see that the person, when they took you away from what was important for you to do, y'all ended up sitting somewhere doing nothing of importance, but sitting there having conversation, just sitting there having, shooting the breeze, just sitting there. It was a different setting, but y'all was just sitting there talking. And sometimes those relationships can literally be sent to sabotage what it is that the Lord is trying to do. In certain seasons, you have to realize who is a distraction and who isn't. And you have to treat each relationship accordingly. It just may be that it may not be so much that they're a distraction, it's just that you have compartmentalized what's important to you. Is your work important, or is the relationship important? And once you have come to that realization, you operate accordingly. Now, with that being said, there are some relationships that are sent into your life to sabotage what you're doing. You will start working on certain things, and this particular person will be sent into your life to love bomb you with all the things that you desire to have from a friend that you did not have at the time. Then every time you started to notice that you were focusing on the work in which you needed to do, this particular person will come in and try to bring a resolution to what it is that you need to do, even though you know what God said to you. But this person will make themselves the answer to what it is that you are doing. But all they are actually doing is bringing you confusion. That's a telltale sign that this person has been sent to sabotage what you are supposed to be doing in that season. That they are a spiritual mole, that the enemy has sent them to, 1, masquerade as a friend, 2, monitor you and what you are doing, 3, make sure whatever it is that you're doing doesn't get completed. And you have to be aware of that, because the enemy is constantly trying to stop you from doing what it is that the Lord is trying to get you to complete. And there's a minister I listen to, and she always puts it to you this way: God will send people into your life to help you move forward, but the devil will send satanic agents to help keep you stressed, stagnant, delayed, and distracted, away from being able to do the thing that God called you to do. And if they don't keep you stressed, they will love bomb you, create a spirit of confusion that they can only answer, and then they will also create a element of distraction to deter you away from the answer in which God's trying to give you. That in turn will prevent you from completing what it is that God's trying to get you to complete. And you got to be aware of that. Because sometimes it doesn't feel like they're a distraction. It almost feels like a comfortableness. I've had several situations, and I'm telling you this from a spiritual perspective, that whether it was with a person that I had connected with spiritually that was a friendship, or somebody that was trying to connect with me in a relationship manner. When a person has the wrong spirit on them and they are trying to put you, the only way I can say it is to put you under a spell. You will literally, if you have enough discernment, you will feel the moment that it will feel like a blanket literally dropped over you spiritually. Like you will feel a light, semi feeling come over your head and try to come over your body the second that they are trying to put a spell on you. And if you're discerning enough in that moment, when it comes over you, cut it off. Every time somebody has tried to do that, cut it off. Every time. I had a guy try to do that to me. It came over me one time when I was on the phone with somebody. I was like, what the heck is this? Why am I? But God had showed me that this was going to happen in a dream just prior to it occurring. And when I felt it, I rejected it. This happened to me again. I was talking with somebody that was associated to somebody I knew, And everybody in the room just seemed like, oh my God, this person is this. Like it's the greatest guy in the world. But when this person turned to talk to me, I felt that same thing. And I went, nope, rejected. And the funny thing about it is I kept going. I went back in the room again because I wasn't going in there for him. I was going in there for the person that was leading the room, which was somebody that was close to me. And he started talking again and I felt it. And I cut it off. I was like, whew. And I actually had to pray about this person and said, if this person means no good, keep me and this person apart. And from that day forth to this day, I have not been in the same room with that person. I have not been in the same virtual room with that person. I have not been able to be involved in anything that that person was involved in, even if the person was involved with something that my coach was involved in. Nope. I can't be in there with that person because it's something wrong with their spirit. You have to recognize when a spirit is being sent to you to sabotage what it is that you are trying to do. When a person is being sent to you to sabotage it. And sometimes the hardest thing in those types of situations is to let go of that person, to release them, to let go of them, and to keep moving forward. Because if you do not, this person will destroy what it is that God is sending you to do, which is even more dangerous. It will delay you, it will deter you, and it will prevent you from getting to the phase and the stage in which you're supposed to. Thank God, God already knows, because Elroy sees all things, what's going to delay you, when it's going to delay you, and he sets up time frames that you will have the lag time to figure this out, because he knows when you're going to figure it out. But he also knows when it's time for you to move past that point, he will cut that relationship off like that, because it has ran its course and it has taken its time beyond, and is threatening to go beyond the point in time in which you need a move. So he will break it off. The Lord himself will break it apart. So either you can choose, when the Lord is giving you warning after warning after warning, let this go, let this go, let this go. If you don't let it go, he's going to come in and he's going to sever it. And it's like somebody making the decision to cut a blood vessel and blood just starts raining all over the place. I know that's a drastic imagery, but that's the way that it feels. When God cut somebody off that you was trying to hold on to, it can literally feel like he left you with a shell-shocking, drastic cut. And then you got to heal from that. When he was trying to tell you before, I'm trying to get you to let this person go without me doing this. It's the same thing that he does with situations. He'll have you in a situation, and if you choose not to let the situation go, he will start to bring red alert alarms all over that situation to tell you, I'm showing you that there's something wrong with this situation. I'm showing you that there's something wrong with this situation. After 3-4 times of him showing you there's something wrong with the situation, when he drastically shifts the situation, where he puts you out of the situation or pulls you out of the situation, and it happens so quick that it's shocking to you that it's like, what was that? It was meant that you were supposed to leave it, but you didn't see it. You were too attached, and he had to slap you with the reality that fast. You have to come to realizations of relationships around you and release and let them go. Because if you do not, they will make an attempt to destroy what it is God is trying to put in you and do through you. And the one thing God's not going to do is allow one, his child to be affected by something, two, allow you or this person to destroy his plans. Now, he has others that he can use, but he would rather use you if you are obedient. And he will destroy something to make sure that you get to where you need to go. There have been a time after a time a relationship would be destroyed. And the Lord will destroy certain things and then turn around and you're like, well, why was I so deaf? Because he needed it destroyed. So my prayer is that anyone going through a weird season where their relationships are under duress, that you come to the realization and you ask the Lord, do I need to keep this or do I need to let it go? God will tell you. Sometimes he's testing you to show you, what have I already told you? Because some of those relationships, especially the detrimental ones, he will show you that is a no-no. What did I tell you to do? And you're going to have to follow his instruction obediently, even if it hurts. So, with that being said, this is Taj McCameron for the ministry. Until next time, bye-bye.